Okay, people are joining, hopefully. Hello guys, how are you? What a lovely music.
Hello.
Hi.
Um, I'm going to remove the camera because I'm going to sit and listen and jump in when I can because I'm still eating.
Oh,
So
really? Okay, enjoy that. Enjoy
yeah, it's
your meal.
Bon appétit.
buena provecho. Thank you, Ma. So I'll continue listening and mute myself, and I'll jump
That's
in
okay.
when I feel fine.
That's okay, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy your meal. So, yeah, let me say hello to Ms.
Hello, everyone.
Alexandra. Hello to Gökhan. How are you, man? Long time no
I'm good.
see. Are you still
Yes,
breathing?
I've been so busy, so
Yeah,
I couldn't participate in any
that's
meetings.
that's okay. That's okay. Very good. And also we have Ali, as usual, of course. Meetings without
Yes.
Ali and Alexandra are, tasteless, I would say. They must join.
Thank,
They must.
Thank you.
Very good.
thank you so
It's a
much.
pleasure always.
Yeah, that's amazing. Very good. Of course, maybe people can join. Uh, let's just use the time wisely. One of the, as you know, one of the best options, features of Google Meet is it is unlimited, right?
Yep.
It is unlimited, and we can talk forever. But of course, let's say 1 hour is enough because there's a football match. So until 10 o'clock, we can, I think that is enough. Yeah, 60 minutes. But of course, it depends on our conversation. And thanks for the suggestion, Alexandra. I mean, nice topic. Protecting the environment. Sorry. Yeah. Hello, Yusuf. Welcome aboard. Nail, hello. Fantastic. And people of Istanbul. People of Istanbul. Today, the weather was disturbingly
Yeah.
hot.
Yes,
Disturbingly hot. Right?
so badly.
Yeah, it was a huge shock for me. I hate it. Really hate it.
It will continue,
It
in
will
my opinion.
continue. Of course, yeah. Come on. We have just started the summer,
Yeah.
right? Very good. So, yeah, I think you have the uh how can I say, question, prompt, they say. Uh Yeah, you can start. Do not expect me to talk. I am dealing with a lot of stuff. Sometimes I jump in, try to talk to you guys. So the topic is about the environment, right? How to protect it and why should we protect it? And actually, this kind of stuff. You can just start the conversation. Maybe we can start with Alexandra because she created this question.
Okay. I think environment is one of the topic of the whole world. It's not only one country. I think it is important for us all. And I mean, the solution will be only when we like think one boat can be when we think together. So I don't know what our government decided if they say, okay, we'll follow the climatic congresses, which every time are starting and they decide something. But in the end, I see always nothing is done afterward. They have a long goal and something happens. But I think everybody has to do a step by himself, and I mean this step is more important as a government decided, my opinion. But the question at all, what is our opinion?
Thank you. Very good. Who is next? Who wants to add something?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. And everybody
Okay.
is happy now. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Actually, all people know that we should protect the environment. It comes really as times. Uh, so we know the subject. But the main question should be that how we can protect the environment. Uh, Sorry, not product, save. Uh-huh. Yes.
I
So
see.
this is
Very good.
the main
Okay.
question, and we can find many example, many solutions for that. But it's this is generally no, this, generally nowadays we are taking some subjects. We are watching some news about that in the world, and it's really wide subject, but there is not really good solid solutions, unfortunately.
I see.
All people just talking about that, just talking. This is my idea.
Okay. Thank you very much. Of course, we're going to dive into who is next. Yes, please, Mr. Ali, go ahead.
Uh, Thank you so much, Alexandra, for this topic. It's so important. The the protection of the environment is one of the most important issues in our life, and we had a lot of problems in the past with this situation, and we are having some issues in today, for example, and also we will have this issue in the future. We will we will not be able to change in this way, this problem in this way, because we see a lot of videos and speeches about protecting of environments on the news. A lot of scientists and a lot of organizations, institutions, and politicians have been talking about that, but they don't do anything.
Mhm.
They don't fight. They don't fight against uh, people
Global
who,
warming.
yes, global warming and
Mhm.
climate change.
Mhm.
Maybe we can say action speak louder
Than
than words.
words.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. I was about to
Yeah.
say that, so uh, you're going to live longer than me. That's cool. Very good.
Yeah, and also there are some good organizations like Greenpeace, for example. They try to do something about that, but
Not
in my
successful.
opinion, not successful, because all governments uh, think that this organization is a illegal group.
Okay.
Yeah, and they all governments interfere their actions, and that's why they cannot do anything. They cannot be successful.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
you're
Yes,
welcome.
please. So I don't know what to call you, man. I mean, your name is Mr. Ken, but now it happens to be like Mr. Deck.
Yeah,
Right?
dictator.
Dictator. Okay, dictator. Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
really difficult one because I have 2 or 3 YouTube kind of Google
Accounts.
platforms.
I see.
Yeah,
That's
and
okay.
my name's Ken Clay,
Of
but
course.
one of them is dictator,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a play on words. But anyway,
Yeah, of course.
we talk about politicians, we talk about hypocrisy.
Yeah.
We've just had the G7 in the UK. What was the carbon footprint for the G7? We have this platform, we have the ability to talk across this relatively carbon low platform. Zoom, Google Meets, WhatsApp, all of these platforms.
Which one is your favorite?
In terms of they're all much of a muchness. They all work. But we look at our politicians who are across the board, and I'm extremely cynical. They are hypocrites. They talk the good talk. They do not fight the good fight. If we look at ourselves and our own actions in terms of how we advance the environment, it's probably quite simple. Stop being so demanding in terms of the latest phone, the latest TV, the latest this. So consumerism drives the production of material goods, and they are a great creator of the carbon which goes out into the world. My theory is that we try and utilize our goods as long as possible. So you make your telephone, your computer, your TV, your car last as long as possible. You extend its lifespan. Yeah. By extending its lifespan, you have a smaller carbon footprint. And simple things, picking litter up, recycling, reusing, repairing. They're all such simple things we can all do. And by doing that, we all help the environment. And by making our own home, our own gardens, our own area as nature friendly as possible is something I would advocate.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think Gökhan wanted to say something, long ago. Please go ahead.
Yes, actually, it is one of the good topics is that and environment is significantly important for all of us. It is all around us. We live with the environment. We live in the environment. But despite that, humanity is acting in a bad way to environment. For example, mucilage in the Marmara Sea and Aegean Sea is very harmful to so many species in the ocean and indirectly to us too. Pollution in the air, pollution in the sea, pollution in the ocean is
threatening.
Devastating to the earth. We have to stop. We have to do something. We have consider it. That's all that's all that I want to say for now.
Okay, thank you. Of course, we will go deeper.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Okay, who is next, please? Yeah, please, Yusuf, go ahead. I don't have your voice. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not used to.
Yeah.
I mean, Google Meet. It's my first time actually.
That's okay.
So I was gonna say, completely agree with Mr. Tater actually what he suggested to protect
Ken.
Our. Sorry.
Mr. Ken.
Mr. Ken. Sorry for that. So good. So the things he suggested, I mean, not everyone is aware of these suggestions actually. They don't know, not everyone knows these things actually. So I think people should know this, people should be educated about these things, government should teach, I mean, at young age to people. They should know these things. So I think we are all responsible for protecting our planet because it's our home. For the next generations as well, it's going to be our home.
So everybody is on the spot. Everybody should be responsible. Yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Who's next? Yes, please, Mister.
Um, I'm going to extrapolate. First of all, does everybody understand me when I'm speaking? Am I speaking at a reasonable pace?
Of course, I think so.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay,
Yeah,
good,
we understand.
super.
We can.
Just trying to balance a level of native speaking as opposed to non-native speaking. We have an increasing population within the world, and that, as much as anything, is a problem for the world because we take up space, we take up natural resources, we create pollution. Whatever we do, however carbon neutral we try to be, we all produce litter, we all produce rubbish, we all use resources of the world. And I think half of our issue is that we are concentrating too much upon certain aspects of the climate change and not enough upon the growing population of the world. Obviously, there are some countries whose population is decreasing, and there are other countries whose population is increasing at an exponential rate, at a massively growing rate. And those countries are unable to sustain the growth of their population and also the growth of the resources that they use. So a question, an idea: should governments, should the church,
Authorities.
we'll go the authorities, the authorities, should they start to encourage zero population growth? Should they encourage a reduction in populations to reduce the use of our natural resources and the encroachment upon the wild areas that we still have within our own countries?
A tricky question. Yes, Nail.
Thank you. Actually, it's hard to say actually because I agree with Mr. He's really right in the subject because the population is really high in the world in general.
That's why
And
they
we are
created coronavirus.
yes, unfortunately, and it's a I don't know, it's a good solution to decrease the population. I don't know. Actually, it's not working. I believe that it's not working. We need the more stronger virus about
Yeah.
for that.
Okay.
So yes,
But
it's
the
hard to
damage is
say.
done. Yeah.
Yes, and but we need that because we as a human we are really over user in everything. We don't we never satisfied to using something. We are want more than more every day, and we don't know how can we save our water or oxygen. We don't know what can we do. We are just using.
That's true.
Yes, this is our problem, and we need to learn something. I don't know the coronavirus or another another
Game.
issue. I don't know. It's our work about that, but the population should decrease. I believe that.
All right. Now the discussion goes further. Yes, please.
Okay, I will add something. It gives a lot of young people of the whole world. It's a group of people who say, okay, I don't give the world children. They do it really in a ridiculous way. They go and they make an operation. So it's clear they will not have children. It's really hard to see young age like 18, 20, 21 decide in this age, no, I have no children, but not I dislike children because I do it because I see some countries can't have a solution. They have not the option because in their mentality exists, because it's a long tradition. We have to see maybe India, some poor region, they have the population in this high level because the young generation search for the possibilities to alive for the old people. So we have this problem, and the education goes step by step in the way to explain it gives a different direction too. And you see in some countries like Morocco, the new generations, like now, they have only 2 children. Years before they had 8, 10, 12. So you see by time
Like a
it
football
starts.
team?
Yeah, like more. A friend of mine, his uncle has 18. So wow, amazing. I would
That's
not be the wife, but okay.
that's
It is like
tremendous.
it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. But we have to respect it because it is an old tradition and
Yeah.
it is not the same as in Europe. We have the possibilities like we have you work and you earn your money plus you have your retirement, you have your insurance system. We have these systems, but they haven't. And the next part is about to reduce something the economy is not interested in. But we as a customer, we are always interested to buy by less price. So when the price would be higher, so we would not use too much, but we are humans. We love to have everything on the same time. And the economy makes it not easy for us to say. But when I see on the other hand, some prices go on basically they are very environment produced and when you search how they are produced are not environment protecting produced. So I think what's going on here is the economy. It isn't in all the ways it isn't.
Yeah.
So the only way I think is to do it by yourself, to decide what need I really, or can I reduce it? Can I recycle? Or can I reduce my possibilities, what I would like to buy? So I say maybe minimalizing. How is it really called? Minimalizing or
Minimizing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's maybe better.
minimalizing.
Minimalizing, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
minimalizing.
difficult.
Great word.
Yeah, so that's my point.
Very good. Lovely. Please go ahead.
Well, in some respects, Alex has pointed out something quite obvious, that European countries' populations since the end of World War II have been relatively slow in terms of growth. The UK has gone from 43 million in 1945 to around 66 million. And a lot of that, or a chunk of that, has been immigration. So our population has only increased by a small amount. You look at countries like India, whose population has exponentially expanded enormously, 4, 5, 6 times. I think it was 450 million at the end of World War II. It's now 1.4 billion, which is a massive growth of population. But if you look at the actual usage of the consumption within India, I've done stories, the use of electricity is minute in relation to per person in comparison to, say, the United States, where the use of the electricity is like 200 times greater per person than it is in India. So we have this strange situation where, although the West has a smaller growth in terms of population, our usage of natural resources, electricity, water, etc., is far greater per person than in some of the poorest, some of the developing countries. So there's a disparity between the two, and we need to try and iron out that disparity. And as Alex said, there is a situation where some countries, Japan, has a negative population now. Its population is decreasing. Its population is based upon many old people. It has a population which is now full of old age pensions, full of people who have retired, who are going to die, let's say. So the population will decrease over time, and it is a country which is desperate for new blood, for new youth to pay the pensions of the old people. We have it's a massive concept about the population of the world, the usage of natural resources, countries' populations increasing and increasing and increasing, and how we maintain and stabilize the world's population and the world's economies.
Thank you very much. Yeah, of course, that's true. You know, the topic, I think, will go further. Okay. Don't be silent, guys. You can just, say something. We are not here to save the world. We're just talking.
Hi there, teachers.
Hello, man. Good to see you again. Please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And this is Mirai. I'm from Bangladesh. Actually, I joined here a few minutes ago. I was listening all of you here. And probably you were talking about sometimes population, overpopulation, sometimes about our environment. So I'm really not getting that what is the right topic here that we need to discuss. I need to discuss, not we. First, I need to give my opinion on about our overpopulation or about our environment pollution or to save the environment.
You can talk about both of them.
Thank you, teacher. For me, actually, I'm from southeast part. Not actually southeast is the southern part of Asian, and my country is Bangladesh. My country is next to India, so I actually experiencing these kind of things, the pollution, environment pollution, and the great problem here in my country and in my nearby countries. There is the great problem is overpopulation that's also prevailing in my country, and a lot of people actually the families they don't have their worries to bring their I mean bring up their children. I mean to breed their children. So actually they are not worried at all because they want to have more and more children. So this is the instinct that actually prevails in most of the families. And in my family, hopefully, we are three siblings. We don't have actually so many brothers or sisters. So, the great problem that I heard meeting my friend from Pakistan, and in that country, I heard about one family. They have near about 21 children. That when I first heard, I was literally blown away because I didn't experience this kind of things. Expect also. So actually, we are actually being overpopulated in most of the countries here in Asia.
What is the
So it's
population of your
because
country, for example? Sorry for jumping
yeah,
in,
yeah.
but what is the population of your country specifically?
It's near about 16 more than 16 crore.
16?
Crore.
Just 16 in Bangladesh.
16 what?
How do you say that in million?
I sent the link via chat platform, population by country. You can see that.
18 crore. 18. Oh, now it becomes 18 crore.
What
Near
does
about
it mean?
18.
I don't get
Oh.
you. 18 what? Million?
18 crore.
Crore means
Crore means million. Yeah, yeah, near about million maybe.
That is not
just
too
18
much.
We
18 million is
we actually in your country we count it by crore and
that is interesting.
we always say like this, but it might be million obviously. Yeah,
I
that's
see.
right.
Even
So
in
it's
here in
near about
Istanbul, there are
8
like 20
million.
million.
Yes, just Istanbul.
Oh,
In
20 million.
Shirinev
Yeah.
itself is like 5 million.
Where is he from again? Sorry. In Pakistan?
Bangladesh.
Ah,
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Sorry.
Yeah,
Nice.
Bangladesh.
Okay.
So here in my country, it's near about 18 crore people, 18 million people. So here we are living in a very small country. It is not so big country, and the same problem, actually, environmental problem that we are getting here, it's like environment pollution and river pollution, or a lot of actually things happening here. Traffic jam that happens a lot in our Dhaka city, the capital city. So here, as our topic is to save the environment
Mm-hmm.
and to talk about this environment pollution. So to talk about this environment pollution, or about overpopulation, so it's really a great problem here in my country and in my neighbor countries. And that's because we the people are actually, I will say that we are not literate. We don't have our literally knowledge about the population and how to control population. Maybe they don't have their worries, they don't have their tension. They are not actually tensed about this overpopulation in their family. They are having a lot of family members, and somehow they're just controlling and they're managing themselves, but they are not able to give their children a proper education, a proper basic rights that actually our children need. So it's really problem, and now people are really getting concern. They're actually not having so many children here in my country. Gradually, population is really reducing day by day. So it's a good, actually positive side that we are facing nowadays. We are experiencing. And another thing is environment pollution, the problem and how to save environment. And I want to share my country experience that I have still experienced. So that is actually, we are polluting our environment by ourselves. It is not like anything else. And sometimes I hear people to talk about industrial activities. They always claim like these industrial activities are polluting our environment, polluting everything related to us, around or surround us. So it's happening. It's obviously true, but we the people, I think we are not aware of it. We are not actually recycling the renewable energies, and we are literally fail to uh, manage the trashes, manage the garbages.
Okay.
Yeah, and these things are literally happening, and sometimes I also notice that in the rivers, and in my country we have a lot of rivers across the country, and in these rivers we the people, we are polluting it directly, actually throwing some waste and garbage, and sometimes throwing oil or different kind of
Okay.
uh,
Thank you very
wastes.
much. Because we have limited time, and unfortunately, we cannot just give a lot of minutes for people to talk. We have very limited time, so please, make it short. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks. I think I'm good here.
Okay. Of course, we're going to continue, but there are lots of people who haven't actually talked yet, or enough.
Yeah, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
please. Okay. Very quickly, Mister. Go ahead.
I can talk for England. I can seriously talk. Having been to India and Bangladesh, talking of rivers, they're not rivers. They are just mountains of plastic and rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very evident. That's something you will not see in Western society. We have cleaned up our act. 100 years ago, we were just as bad as any other country like India, Bangladesh, Kenya, Nigeria, wherever it might be. It's because you have no infrastructure for recycling. You have no infrastructure for dealing with waste,
Mm-hmm.
be it simple waste, human waste, literally human waste, right up to industrial waste. The West has, to a greater extent, resolved many of these issues and is able to deal with these issues in a structured way. So I think maybe the West, Western countries, advanced countries need to come in and not so much rape the landscape for natural resources, but actually help by creating systems to deal with waste, all kinds of waste, so that the environment can be cleaned up. We have Google, we have Amazon, we have all these massive companies who pay so little in taxes, but in fact could be coming into India, Bangladesh, Kenya, Nigeria, I don't know, Bolivia, wherever, and using their billions to help the environment. They talk the talk, they do not walk the walk. They are full of that and very little else. So I really believe that if governments are trying to control, if governments are trying to extract taxes from major multinationals, perhaps maybe they should be saying, you go into India, you go into Bangladesh, you go into Kenya, and you clean up the system, you clean up the pollution, you use your excess wealth, poorly paid taxes, and you help the environment. Perhaps that's a possibility, a thought, a concept. And I keep saying, I talk for England. I can talk for England.
Okay.
I can. So I'm going to shut up and listen.
Come on. Thank you very much. Okay, who wants to talk about, I mean, on behalf of his or her country? Yes, Ali, please go ahead.
Teacher, I want to share my idea about that. While we use the materials in our daily life, first of all, we need to know the impacts of these materials to the environment. And also we need to teach our children how to separate the garbage, for example, at home. We need to separate the garbage as, for example, paper, plastic, and public waste. And in this way, we can recycle most of them. And we should use recycled materials in our life. And if we want to present to a good future to our children, we need to educate them at home firstly, before the school.
That's true.
Even if you have a high population, if all people have a good knowledge about protecting of the environment, it doesn't matter. And also you have to, if it is possible, you have to use public transportation. Yes, and also if it is possible, you have to have hybrid vehicles, for example. And also these are our social responsibilities. Yeah.
And commitments.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. That's all.
Thank you, man.
Can I speak on behalf of my country?
Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so like good day or good
good evening.
Okay, good day.
Yeah. Good evening here.
All right, so there's a lot of topics that actually you guys have talked about. You touched population, environment, and the things that we need to improve.
That's true.
So on and so forth. So I'll be speaking on behalf of my country because we are also overpopulated. I mean, for a very small country, we are somewhere between 105 to 109 million for a very small country. I think I could point out the reason why, because we are a Christian country. So when it comes to educating the kids, for example, we implemented sex education as part of our curriculum. It's like teaching the kids on what they should do, or to not to get pregnant. But in contrast to that, the church opposed these things because, as I've mentioned a while ago, we're a Christian country. So there's always contrast between what the government would employ or would implement and the church opinion about this. So the people are confused on what they should follow. But what teenagers in my country are promiscuous. So they just do things without even thinking, and the last thing they know, they're already pregnant, and that's really the worst thing. Most of the population are from the teenage pregnant. I mean, single mothers also. I'm not saying it's that it is bad, but I wish they could. I mean, they could have like done something more than what they have already did. When it comes also to as relation to what we have discussed about the environment, I wish we could adapt the what was implemented in London, the recycling, or how should I say, proper disposal or something like that, or infrastructure, as Mr.
Ken?
I don't want to mention, yeah, Mr. Ken have mentioned a while ago. So I wish also we could adapt that in other Asian countries. I mean, India, Philippines, and Asian countries with a lot of population, because if the country has a lot of population, you could also expect a lot of trash, something like that. So I think that's something we could adapt from other countries too. And another opinion is that as much as possible, I mean, I'm supporting those people, those really rich people who explore spaces, like, who could send rockets to other planets to explore. I wish also they could fund more efforts on cleaning Earth. I mean, after all, this is where we live. This is the most habitable planet in the solar system. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Teacher,
Hello. Hello, Mr. Musharraf. Please go
just
ahead.
sorry. Okay, just sorry. This is the first time like I tried to connect from this application.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's working exactly.
It is working properly
I
at the
think
moment.
I connect a little bit late, but again, for all people, I want to say hi. Just now, I'm able to use my mobile phone.
Okay.
It's not so like how to say applicable like a laptop, but no matter. I just try to like manage the topic and follow it.
Sure.
Just again, if I'm not correct, are subjects based on like pollution, like environment, if I'm not wrong,
That's true.
and also a concept that get my attention so much. What I'm listening, especially from some participants, especially since generally they mention overpopulation as a problem in the world, what we have experienced throughout many countries maybe today. In my opinion, like, of course, overpopulation can be considered on that way like a big problem, but again, if you think in the reverse way, I think depopulation also is a problem in my opinion. That's what we experience today in in some countries in Europe. It's exactly on that way. Just in my opinion, we have to keep a balance here between like overpopulation and depopulation. I mean, what I mean, if there is no a control, I mean, in terms of how to say, like overpopulation. I mean, like, how to say, like
Stopping.
Restriction, we can say.
like if there is no any kind of restriction, of course maybe at the end it can lead some kind of problems, unexpected problems in terms of like dense population, like uncontrollable population. It's okay, but like in another way, just if we couldn't able to keep that in balance after a while, after maybe 2 generations, just within maybe 20 or 30 years, then we will come across with another big problem. Like, I mean, with older population that couldn't be like create its own cycle. I mean, in terms of continuation, maybe like we couldn't catch a good social cycle. I mean, just for that reason, I try to put that in a more contextual way in terms of keeping the balance here. Whether like sometimes always it seems like so positive having just one child, even maybe any for some time. Maybe it seems like a so benefit, like in a more how to say favorable way, just for some reason in a short. I mean, in short term, but in another way, like I say, I don't want to like repeat the same thing, but it's also can create its own problem. I mean, like if you don't keep that in balance, like I said. Another issue, maybe just I can say there is a big contradiction in the world. What we how to say, we went experiencing today's world. Since we mention always the advanced countries, in another way, maybe developed countries always find the solution. I mean, they resolve their own environmental solution, maybe from one side. But from other side, we know that the basic reason what we come across today in terms of how to say, the environmental problems, most of them are come from the developed countries also, especially from USA, from some other great countries. They always impose some restrictions, some regulations, but first of all, they couldn't make it this applicable across the world. First of all, maybe they don't avoid, they don't maybe apply even just for some, I don't know, expectations, for some, I don't know, economical reason, whatever they are. Always they use this rhetoric, let me say, just in terms of importance of keeping the clean environment, whatever it is. But from other side, in a more harsh way, maybe they put some kind of endeavors and kind of some initiative, just how to say, on behalf of economic progress, but at the end they destroy the environment and also our, how to say, universe. Just here, in my opinion, the biggest dirty or the biggest responsibilities just again is how to say, goes to the developed countries and rich countries, let me say, whatever it is, no problem. Just there's here a dilemma, a contradictory point. I want to take the attention here just for that reason. Really, thanks for your patience, for listening to me.
Thank you.
That's my point.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, do you want to add something, guys?
Yeah.
Yes,
Again,
please,
I can talk. There's a great deal of truth. The hypocrisy of the developed nations in relation to how they treat the less developed nations. The fact is that we have some of the smallest populations by land mass, yet our usage of natural resources is far greater. And quite often, especially now in the last 30, 40 years, our use of natural resources, of products, of consumer goods is coming out of the less developed nations, China, India, Bangladesh, Africa. So we are raping these countries of their natural resources. We are using and abusing these countries so that we can have the latest iPhone 37, the latest Apple Mac 27, whatever it might be. We want this product now, and these products are not made in Europe. They are not made in the US. They are not made in generally the Western world. They are made in the developing world, the third world. So we claim to be carbon neutral. We claim to be environmentally friendly because the pollution is not in our back garden. We are not creating the pollution within our own country. We are buying the products from India, from China, from wherever, where the pollution, because there is less control, is much greater. So we are absolutely, and I'm in agreement with the last speaker, we are the biggest hypocrites going. I will say, I never buy a new phone. I always buy used. I always buy second hand. So this is an 8. We now have iPhone 12. My car, I will run till it dies. I try to use the products that I have for as long as they will live.
Okay.
And when they die and become uneconomical, I then get rid of them. I don't go, oh, I need the new iPhone 37 because it's new. No, I use what I have and I abuse the product, until it dies and is no longer valid as a product. That way, I hope I am reducing my carbon footprint. But a great point from the last speaker, a great point.
Thank you.
teacher Meysam, if you give me like last chance, just I want to add like any other idea that's so parallel with Dick.
We have
I-
almost 6 minutes, guys.
Just for 1 minute, baby.
Yeah,
Dick,
please, go
really
ahead.
thanks for your deep thoughts and honest thoughts. In my opinion, they are so important. And we have to emphasize another fact that I don't want to politicize the like topic. It's not my intention, but again, there is a fact that since the 19th century, I mean, from the colonization period, let me say, from the modern age, in a more wider vision, let me say, just developed countries always get those high standards to some extent by how to say, but by I don't want to say like by getting the advantages of underdeveloped countries in terms of by using their resource. But again, it's a fact. They use their resource in a so cheap way, and the most hazardous and the most, how to say, risky and dangerous settlements or factories always settled in those regions just by using also their employees, by using their resource, and by also letting the all risky ending can result just for those environment. In two ways they are so hypocritic. Like it's not just from one way. They misuse their kind of, they abuse their environment from one side, they abuse their employees. I mean, how to say, workers, and they keep so cheap, they pay less for their workers. By that way they earn lots of from one side, they use their all resource and all environment, and also at the same time they sell those products maybe in a more expensive way to those people. By that way, they get all the advantages, not just in terms of environment, but also in terms of resource. At the end, and also they blame those communities like undereducated, like don't pay any attention to the environment. But at the beginning, the story is so different. We have to understand this in a more wider way, in my opinion. Then maybe we can reach a solution. Otherwise, there's always a hypocrisy here. And also not just from one side, but also from many different aspects. They misuse and abuse underdeveloped countries. We have to be genuine from that side, in my opinion. Really, thanks.
Thank you very much. And also we have to mention that like politics of greed is a really very, very important factor to mention. Very good. Guys, we have almost 3 minutes, but let's just wrap it up. Because there's a football match, I am just trying to stop it. Otherwise, I would really go further. Yeah, a very, very important football match. That's why. Please just wrap it up. I mean, just let's at least create a kind of conclusion out of it. Please go ahead.
Can I just say, I think whatever the opinions, this forum is great for just you practicing your English, regardless. And that's outside of this topic, fantastic for practicing your English, for listening, for understanding, but for listening for the last 45 minutes and hopefully understanding various ideas. It's about English, not so much the topic, I think, teacher. It's about practicing English, communicating ideas, and that's the main thing. And fantastic to everybody for doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very good. Okay, so I think that is it, right? We have to say goodbye.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much,
joining.
teacher and friends.
Thank you
all.
for
Thank you very
joining,
much for
guys. It
everything.
was really lovely and really productive.
Exactly.
Hope to see you next time. Maybe, hopefully,
Okay.
next Sunday.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Take care of yourselves.
See you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Thank you.